So it was a good fight between Keith Thurman versus Brock Jarvis. Brock Jarvis came out tough in the first round. As I expected, was behind that jab. He was boxing a lot better than people realize coming out into this fight. It was very tough. He stepped to Keith Thurman, didn't really hold back. All the fans was definitely into this fight. It was an action-packed fight from the very beginning. Those guys wouldn't hold him back. I feel like Keith Thurman was very slow coming out. Took him a couple rounds to actually get started. With the ring rust and everything that him being out of the ring, I definitely, if I was in his case, not to say that Brock Jarvis is a sparring partner or anything, but it would have definitely been good for him to get at least 6 rounds in. Just just to say that. Because yeah, him getting those couple of rounds in was good. But man, he was struggling early on as far as with Brock Jarvis's aggressiveness. Dude came out very aggressive. He was sharp. Didn't really put himself in harm's way a lot early on. I thought Brock Jarvis did a good job of keeping his chin tucked, staying behind the high guard, and keep him and Keith Thurman had a couple of things exchanges early on, but Brock was doing a good job with that jab. He was jabbing on and off, back and forth, giving Keith Thurman a hard time. And Keith Thurman in that first round, you can kind of tell that he had been out for 3 years. He was definitely moving slow, and his reaction time was not there at first. And he started to catch his timing down a lot more, and it started to catch up to him. And he did a good job really dodging a lot of shots, countering. I felt like Keith Thurman was very slow to counter early on. And Brock came out and put on a huge performance, man. I thought he for what he's done in the past, a lot of people thought he was gonna get knocked out in the first round. I thought he came out and set the tone early on. He really did set the tone, but the experience just, kind of dialed in. And Brock tends to slow down after a couple of rounds. Not to say that he's super out of shape, he just tends to slow down. He comes out fast and tends to slow down. And that's when Keith Thurman was able to bring in a lot more to Brock as far as being a lot more aggressive and not really letting him just sit back and do what he wanted to do. And Brock Jarvis, he's a good body puncher, but I thought he should have went to the body a lot more in this fight. And Keith Thurman was going to the body on him. And then when he was able to dominate to the body, start going upstairs, he ended up dropping Jarvis, ended up stopping him in the third round. And it was a good third round stoppage because the referee knew that he was about done at that point. With the way he was able to drop him and the combination that he dropped him with, um, Jarvis was just unable to perform as far as continue the way he was at that state. He was fighting very aggressive though. Keith Thurman up to that third round, he really didn't show much, but he showed a lot more than what he was showing in the first round. He was starting to improve as each round went on, which it was expected because he was trying to knock off a lot of rust. But once he got to the third round, it was over. He ended up stopping Jarvis with a huge knockout, and Jarvis is probably disappointed, but he went out there against a good guy against Keith Thurman, who's a great champion and former champion, was able to do a lot of good things early on. I think he should take that and that experience and carry it on to the next fight. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.